Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. If you guys saw my last two videos, I mentioned that I'm going to be doing a discussion video regarding Anniversary, and some of you also shared your thoughts in the comments like I asked, which I'm very grateful. Thank you all for participating. And before starting, don't forget to share this video with your friends, spread the word. I just want everyone to be able to express their feelings about Anniversary because I want the developers to probably watch this. I don't know if they will, but in case they do, I want everyone to just share their thoughts. Also, I'm not alone with this. I have Ulis by my side.
Hello.
So we can bring a little bit more discussion and just talk about Anniversary overall. So first I'll begin with your guys' comments, since the majority of you brought really good topics and discussions. So I'm gonna start with Cody Sellers. He says, I had fun with co-op and leveling up Trunks. I enjoyed building new teams. However, overall this was very lackluster. The units were guessed weeks before they came out, which I understand and I agree, but I actually do like the thing of trying to guess the units and then they're appearing. I think is kind of fun.
Yeah.
In my opinion. PvP is still a joke. Yeah, we will talk a bit more about PvP because there's another comment that mentions about PvP, so in further detail we'll be talking about it. And the second new summer banners were pathetic. They're talking about PyCon and Super Kalkan Goku. The community asked for SSJ4 Gogeta. Vegito Blue versus SSJ4 Gogeta would have been amazing. I agree. I already mentioned this in many videos prior that I really wanted Gogeta to be out on Anniversary. My favorite fusion is Vegito, but I kind of feel empty that they didn't bring Gogeta onto the Anniversary. Even in the second part, they did not bring him back, which is kind of strange. But well. The creators and developers of this game don't listen to the people playing them. I will not be spending any more money on this game. Not going to waste time on game that is running into the ground. Thank you for providing a place to vent my frustrations. Always, if you have anything you don't like, also write in the comments. I usually read the comments and I respond, so whenever you guys want to vent, feel free to vent. I may vent with you guys or just, you know, have a little argument, a little discussion. I just enjoy talking with people. They had a good idea with this game, they are just too brain dead to listen to the community, I guess. Well, it's not wrong.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh, but I kinda agree with most of it though, because I just think the Gogeta SSJ4 or the blue one is a bit too much fusions, so I don't know if that's the reason of them not bringing it now, or just and they are saving it for another banner later, so they can bring back fusions. Because right now the meta is just fusions mostly, and I don't know. I think that's one reason, possible reason. And the PyCon and the Kaioken banner could be a way to try to get away from fusions, but I don't think it will work out because I don't know, they are not that meta breaking. So it's still fusions, and if it was a Gogeta now, it would be like fusions, and the PvP without fusions you don't stand a chance. So yeah.
But Super Kalkan Goku is actually a really good counter for Vegito Blue.
They always try to break the meta, always.
Yeah.
The new banners always have that in mind. Sometimes they fail, sometimes it's okay. I think they tried, but it feels weird because of the other world doesn't have anything to do with the Anniversary 2, right? Because
Yeah.
it's GT and Future, and it's nothing to do with the other world. So it's very weird. I think I understood their intentions, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, I really didn't. And also I feel that these units weren't as high for Anniversary. And why I say this, because this is part 2 of the Anniversary. It's not a thing after the Anniversary, it's a part 2 of the Anniversary itself. So it feels a bit like you said, like out of place. Because we had like Super or Future, and then we have GT.
Okay.
And then other world, like you said, like what is it there? And PyCon being red, it's also kind of weird because we have again Omega Shenron and especially Vegito Blue, which is wrecking everything. So PyCon is just Pepe said.
Yeah, Pepe said, yeah. Feels bad, man.
Very bad. Okay, then we have DBZ Promit. That anniversary, nothing to do. They brought something like Raid Boss, which ended in one day, and they never brought it anything like that back. Then they said something about dungeon mode in guild system, and many more, but still nothing new. A new event came in, so I guess there is something to do, and raids were again shitty even though it's 10% to get an SP. They gave me nothing but other units, which I did not want. As a whole, that anniversary, there were some things which were good, like God Shallot, but other than that, shitty. Even the chance ticket is BS, and the exchange shop for that is a joke. Oh my god, the chance time ticket is a whole mess. They didn't really explain properly how it functioned. We had to kind of guess it. It was very like paid to win the tickets, because the bigger tickets for the chance time were more paid. So basically, probably you spend 10k in the game to receive 10k back. That's kind of how I felt about this chance time. And again, a lot of these comments are kind of strong, coming out strong with the criticism, which is completely fine. But yeah, I actually agree with a lot of these, especially like the guild thing, because again, the anniversary was a big thing, and they spoke about the guild sometime prior to this, so we were like, oh, maybe they're gonna bring the guild new dungeon thingies, adventures, whatever in anniversary, but bamboozled, we got nothing.
I think at the end we should give like some ideas and suggestions and solutions, and one of them has to do with guilds and raids, so maybe at the end we talk about this.
Yeah, maybe.
And what is more?
The raid boss, which for me it was pretty fun. Even the developers were like, what are you guys doing? You guys just ended the raid in one day. Even the guys were like shocked.
I think the issue with the raid was that they were not counting with this many people, the flux of people that got into the anniversary, because it was so many people. They hyped it a lot through events and social media and so on. But then we'll talk about this later. They dragged out the anniversary too much, and now the hype is dead. Everyone is bored. It has also to do with the lack of events that was mentioned. It's super boring now, nothing to do. Even new players struggle a bit, I think, because at one point you have a lot of rising battles and you have the stories that you never did, but you eventually do all that, and once you are done with those, there is nothing to do. They need a new way to do the event, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, thing that he mentioned was they increased the SP chance to, I don't know if it was 5 or more percent to 10%, which I think is a really good thing, but I didn't see much difference personally. Yeah. But I still think that even though it's kind of low, I still think that any higher chances of getting SPs is always good, no matter how small the increase is. I think it's always good.
But that has to do with luck, right? Like,
yeah,
you can have 99% of getting Vegito Blue, and if you never get it, it's still bad, right? So it's still a luck game. So that's an issue.
Again, he also mentioned that basically Anniversary didn't give anything else except the units, which again did give, and the Anniversary at the beginning was fantastic in my opinion. Like, they started really strong with those like story kind of event for you to try the new units. I think it was really fun. It was something that I thought it would continue a little bit more, but it felt really short. They just started so well that people were so excited, but then like 3 days passed or so and it's dead.
Because they had like every type of event, so there was a lot of diversity. But then that's it. For each type, every type was dropping. The challenge thing was dropping. The raid dropped way too fast. Then it was the choice battle. Everything started dropping one by one. The story is still going, but the story is done super fast. So with nothing new, it ends. They added quickly the trunks, which has to do with the event in a way, because you need the new units, which has a lot of grind to do because it's a co-op thing. So, and that helped a lot. But once we are done with that, then there is nothing else.
Yeah. Like they should have made like a plan B in case like these things happen, because
I think their plan B was this. Actually, I think this Otherworld thing is the next event, and they saw how things were going, and they added this to, okay, it's not over yet, look, we still have this. And the Otherworld event is just another Rising Battle,
probably
which you can do very fast again. They time gate it so it looks longer, they always do this. And again, you are like, okay, I've done this, what now? I can go over 30, I can go over 40. Hello, next day, please. Then you do it next day, okay, I'm done, I guess.
Okay, then we'll go into next comment. Joanne, the only one. I think Xenoverse was mediocre. Units were good, but that was it. It was bad for other players since there was not much content for it, besides Zenkai Trunks. And for the new ones, there maybe was too much going on with Vegito, Ginyu-ku, which is the Rising Battle for Ginyu, plus Zenkai Trunks. Not well balanced in my opinion. Well, we kind of spoke about this earlier.
But I said that as a new player, you can do this very fast. It depends on how experienced you are in games. But at the same time, you can get really confused.
Yeah.
Because I actually saw some players that couldn't go over Battle 60 of some of these events. I think it was the Broly or the Ginyu. And that's it. You don't get the full Ginyu. You have to wait for the next one, and imagine this for all the others.
Yeah.
So you do half of the event and you wait for the next time and you finish it, and then the third time you're done with nothing to do, and you're basically a veteran, let's say, or half a veteran with nothing to do. So all the players will end up in this situation. So I think in a way this is bad that they are doing this, because it won't work in the long run.
Yeah.
It works to get new players, and this anniversary, I think this anniversary was trying to bring a lot of new players, because they tried to do that friend thing, the scan thing, the social media thing. Everything was to bring new players and to hype to the game. The problem is that they didn't do anything for the old guys, so the old people started dying, and that creates a bad image for the game. And that in a way may have a very bad impact for new players, I think.
Yeah, but not only that, I think also this was very unbalanced as well, because even just being in the eyes of a new player, it's a lot of events. You have the story to do, you have the new events, like the one with Shenron, then we had like the Rising Battle. I think that even for new players, I think this is a little bit too much to do. I just think that this is very unbalanced, because veterans have literally nothing to do, while the new players are just drowning in content that probably they may not even be able to finish. That's just like the unbalanced thing that I think that should be taken care of, or have a deeper look at it, because it's a mess.
Yeah.
Then we have Bihag de Nepal. Also, if I mispronounce this, I'm very sorry. I'm Portuguese, I feel some words, and I'm bad at English sometimes too. I'm just disappointed it's not good at any measure. This anniversary was literally done to bring in new players, like we mentioned, and kicked out other players. Absolutely no consistent anniversary events, no free anniversary until I won't count any Zenkai characters, and the Shadow Transformation during anniversary, because that was bound to happen, agreed, and hardly any CC compared to last year. It's just very lazy. The free summons are good, but the rates are terrible. The exchange shop is also absolute nonsense. I actually have nothing good to say about anniversary. If I have to think hard about what was good about anniversary, then it just goes to show how bad it really is. There's just too many issues in the game, I have no motivation to play anymore, and I've been playing from the day one like a lot of people. I love this game, but it's just not going in the right direction. It really needs its criticism to be attended to, but at this point I think the devs don't care, because we've had these same issues for a long time which still haven't been solved.
I agree with most points, I just disagree with one. I think the devs care, because it's shown on the things that they try to do.
Yeah.
Like for example, the Otherworld banner, they try to balance out the Blue Vegito. They failed, but the ways how they talk with the news, like how they address Zenkai, in a way to try to make free to play happier. Little things that they do, you see that they try, but they just fail too often. they need new ideas, I think, or a new direction, because the way that they are doing things is not working at all. They focus on new players, and that by focusing in players they will add new events, and they thought that everyone will be happy, right? What really happened? Everyone finished the events very quickly. They can't do more events because they already did. New players are again overwhelmed or not, it depends. But the veterans are done. So what is the solution? I think we need to talk this in the end, because they need to address like something that works for everyone at the same time. And this will also address for example the CC, which is a problem for the old players.
Then we have also 2 comments made by Louis Logran. What anniversary is good? We finally got Fuse Zamasu and Vegito Blue and Rage Trunks. It's sad because I don't know what else to say. Free multi every day, happy weekend. Zenkai for Trunks was easier. So basically, these are some of the positives for some people. I feel a bit like, where's full power, especially for Goku? Louis, where is he? I'm just joking. No, but that's kind of one of the news that I really like in this anniversary. I'm just joking around. But I do agree that the main focus of its anniversary was just more focused on the units, which I kind of think it shouldn't be. I know units are very important to the game, and I think the ones they brought on anniversary was pretty good. Some people may argue that GT was unnecessary. Others may be like, I think Super was unnecessary. So in terms of which units should have come, it's very debatable.
The units are always your opinion, because it's always subjective, because it's your personal preference, can be your favorite character, and you care a lot, and everyone else just hates it, so it's subjective.
But I think that the free multi, I think, was actually really good. I know the ratings are kind of bad, but I still think that it's free, so
it's
whatever.
Free, it's fun, you can get some luck. I got some luck on some heroes on most, but you know, it's still fun to go, okay, we have to do the free daily summon. So I think that's one thing that's cool.
There's always something that you're like, oh, I can't wait, but I'm excited for the next day to summon. It's like you're expecting something the next day, which I think is always good for the game, because it makes you go back to the game. And the Zenkai for Trunks was easier, yes, and I'm happy that they are improving on that. Because the Kid Goku was very hard, I think, in my opinion. Not the battle co-op, but the farming itself was harder. And I think they are listening a bit to our feedback as well, and they're improving this. This is another thing that I think the developers are listening to us. They just aren't making the best decisions. That's kind of it.
But I think on the Zenkai Trunks, they did much better than Goku. I just have one feedback to give, is that, but it has to do with the other things that they did on the anniversary, is that it is a bit too dependent. There are things that are worse, more dependent, but I think it's still a bit dependent on the new units, and I really don't like that, because it feels like you gain a lot more if you have the new units than if you don't. It's a too much big difference. Although on Zenkai it's not the worst, it's worse when you are getting the stars. That feels much worse.
Yeah, because some people have skipped this anniversary due to not liking the units. Yes, that can happen, okay guys. People don't need to summon on every banner, even if it's anniversary.
I skipped.
There you go, an example. Different store for different folks. Yeah, but if you don't have the new units, it's very complicated to get CC power. I guess I know why they went for that route, because they wanted to spend CC and money. Yeah. So I guess why they chose that, but it can be very frustrating for people who decide to skip.
Yeah, actually what saved me was the happy weekend, because I got one of the Gohans that I was liking, so it helped me get a lot of Z power later.
Still on Lewis, he says, well, let's see, anniversary, it's a celebration. What we got was chance time, which is luck, barely any CC or events to play. The Super Kaioken banner, which we don't want to talk about, 3x RP, chance time exchange shop sucks, Vegito Blue dominates everything, no new free-to-play units for the anniversary, Zenkai Trunks doesn't count.
I think the 3 RP is a thing for new players, because it allows you to rank up much faster. The issue is that when you are rank 50, it gets really complicated, because it attracts a lot of cheaters, because of the way that the rank works with RP, because to win you need more RP, so we want to play more. So cheaters come, okay, let's do more games, let's cheat more games, because I gain more RP. Then there are some RP manipulations. Then there are a lot of cheats going on PvP, so not only it attracts more people that are cheating, there is also a lot of types of cheaters. But then there is also lag that is not cheating. Lag that just happens because people can have bad internet or can be far away and you still lag. So how you solve this? You improve these messages, so the messages are more compact. I still think the only solution is to have a game server. They are trying to do something else that can improve a little, but I think in the long run it won't work. It will be good for the game even if they do the game server, because the game will be much faster. But I think there will always be problems, because cheaters will always find a way.
Also, still on the Lewis comment, against this PvP, so I'm not really the proest of pros to talk about it. But I do want to talk about Mr. Vegito Blue dominating everything. This is an issue that I had with Anniversary from the beginning, which is, in the last Anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, because I wasn't playing at the time, Super Vegito, Frieza, and I think was Buhan, they were powerful, but not overpowered. While in this Anniversary, I feel the units are extremely overpowered for no reason. It really annoys me because, again, like, I'm a person that prefer balance over having overpowered stuff. Some people, again, may disagree and agree with me, but just seeing Vegito everywhere, just wrecking everything, just destroying a little bit of the meta, and then the Anniversary units, it just feels that the units aren't a good to have, but a must have if you want to PvP. And I think for me it's kind of a bad thing and really kind of pisses me off, even if I don't play PvP that much.
And the way that they are doing it right now is to create more power creep, more different units, and always going to do this. Also to sell the new units. It's hard to balance this and to change the direction.
And that's why they're probably trying to bring Zenkai more to the table, because that's the only way they can see how to improve the game too, while also getting money. Okay, then we have Xavier Rodrigues. Wait, there's an anniversary going on? JK. Well, this banner came out too soon and with little reward to it. PyCon seems interesting, being the second unit that gets rid of enemies vanish. I just think they messed up by not giving him the Otherworld Warrior tag. But Legends needs to step up, PvP is still laggy as hell. This is about also the new banner, but he also comes to say, because I responded to him, I don't remember what I said, but he responded with, well, in all fairness, new players will always have access to more CC in these celebrations, but the lack of new content cannot be overlooked. At the end of the month, we will see that we only got a little more than 1k CC compared to regular months. I doubt they will make anything more grand for this second part. After more than 30k CC, I got one copy of Vegito on a total of 2 LFs. I'm done for this banner. Gonna skip a few banners and focus on Fusion's God Key units. And I'm done spending real cash on this game. And PvP, after the log maintenance, all the same, and people are complaining about crashing more often. Nice Bandai, not cool.
Yeah, the crashing probably has to do with mods and unauthorized actions, like I said, like you are in a game, you can send any message to another game, you know, it can be wonky, and it's cheaters, of course. The thing that is interesting here, well, there are many things that are interesting and I agree with most points, but the way that an analysis could go of the CC is the bulk CC per month. It could be, like you mentioned, that this month add a bit more, but then it's anniversary, so it should be much more, not just a little, you know. And again, very little events, and I think that there must be a new way to add CC to the game and more ways to add events, which we'll discuss later.
And also I think it's kind of interesting that they did not give PyCon the Otherworld Warrior tag. And also I really like PyCon's green card, because they recently added Vegeta, which also takes away your vanish. I think this was a very interesting gimmick to bring. As we did in the battles in PvE, he's very annoying. I just finished recovering my vanish and he just goes like, does that stupid dance, Michael Jackson looking ass. boom, there's no vanishing, and I'm just standing there like, bruh, why? Like, and making him red was, it kind of really dragged him a little bit. But I don't feel as bad as him having color, because you can always again put him on a variety of teams and he can still work pretty well. I think people can overlook the color aspect, but it can make things very kind of annoying. But since he has boost to 2 colors, you can make pretty interesting teams. For example, we have like Broly, EX Broly, which is the only example I can give because since I use him. You can put him in like a yellow-blue team and still be pretty good. Would it be better if he was movies? Yeah, of course, or saying duh, but it still works.
Yes, but I think that's the problem. It's always a half-assed ability with colors, because it always will feel better if it was the tag. I think the problem, movies is different because movies is a very strong tag. Otherworld is not at all.
Then the next one we have the Fleetway Gamer 645. All I can say is I feel this anniversary has been the cuck anniversary. That's how to put it. Because Gogeta fans got cucked, free-to players got cucked, but I will say some of the units we got are awesome looking, even though I'm only missing Vegito Blue and Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku. God Charlotte was pretty cool. The events were lackluster except for the PyCon and Omega Shannon one, and that's really all I have to say. Well, about the Vegeta fans, yes, and that's why I think that they should have brought again especially for Gogeta or Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta. But at the same time, there are people saying that they didn't want a banner with 2 LFs, which being Vegito and Gogeta, like they did with LF Piccolo, LF and LF Frieza for the Saiyan and the Bardock one, remember?
Yeah.
They didn't want that back.
I think that was cool. It was a bit too much, I understand that. I understand why they didn't bring and they can save for later. Just for example, this part 2 could be Gogeta.
Yeah.
But then the problem is that if that happened, then people would say, oh, I need Gogeta because I have Vegito and I have Cleffa and I need this unit now. They get a lot of money, yes, but then they also create this stress where people are playing on each banner consecutively and they have no CC already. They wanted to spade things maybe, so they will send Gogeta later and they put this random Pepe Pycon right now.
Then we have Young Soul, oh my god, 0224 YouTube. The anniversary was bad because PvP had a ton of cheaters and laggy matches, also because it was mostly for new players instead of old players. The good parts were only events and the units other than that, it wasn't that hype. Which already mentioned, it's
overall summarizes what we have been saying, totally agree.
And this one is one that I also found really interesting. It was a response, it was a comment and a response and a response, and I think this tackles a little bit what we also spoke, which Mitchell DXD YouTube, this anniversary is garbage compared to the first one. We got a lot more CC last year and there were a lot more events last year. This year is only about the new units, not the game itself. Which, like I stated prior, I agree, this anniversary felt more unit based rather than people just playing the game and enjoying the game. It felt more like, oh, here are the units, just summon for these, whatever, we don't really care. That's kind of how I felt about the anniversary. I know it's harsh, but it's kind of how I felt. And the response we got from Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta is, I mean, this anniversary is just as good because I got around 10k CC, then got Vegito Blue. This is an example, this is a good example. Since Gogeta, he didn't do, I think, Goku Black 100% and he was missing also another type of missions. That's why I got so much CC and he also got lucky. Because again, this game is gacha game, RNG, good luck. Also congrats Gogeta, by the way, for the Vegito Blue. And again, the responses from Naman Piplani, you just got lucky, again, congrats. Plus, you must have got them from story missions, but most people already did those. Because again, like I said, Gogeta, he didn't do some events. And it goes to show, like, the new players are happy with the anniversary because they got a lot of things to gain CC, they had a lot of things to do, but then the veterans, we kind of like suck our toes because they have nothing to
Yeah.
do.
I kind of agree with Gogeta. I skipped, so I don't feel that I got chef because I skipped, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I got a lot of CC from the new events. I had already CC from the previous events, so I'm swimming on CC. I'm kind of happy, but I can feel the veteran pressure. So in a way, this for new players this creates an illusion that everything is perfect, the game is perfect, which is in a way what the developers want, right? But they are not addressing the veterans, and then the veterans come to the Facebook, social media, whatever, and they complain, and then the new players are like, wait a minute, what's happening? Is this a pay-to-win game or things like this? And they draw back from the game, and you see people quitting, you see the veterans quitting, and then the new players are affected by this. I think the developers have to balance this out a bit better, because right now it feels like everything for the new players to attract the new players. Because this is a game developer thing where the new players always replace the old players, and the old players go away till there is a new event and then they come back. It works more or less like this. But I think on Legends, on a mobile game, they could have a different system where they could keep both, and they would win much more with this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. This is just it just comes to show the imbalance that this game has for new players and veterans. Because I know that they want new people, and every game wants new people. But you have to remember as well that the veterans already brought enough money to the game, and some still do bring money to the game. And if you're losing your main source of income, and the newcomers are seeing that, oh, maybe it's not a good idea to give money to the game because people are complaining, so it's bad for the developers because they will be losing money. That's why I kind of don't understand this whole giving everything to the new players, because then the veterans be like, oh yeah? Oh, we're gonna talk bad about this game, so that the newcomers be like, oh, we ain't summoning. And that's kind of how I feel, and I think they should address this as quick as possible and just, again, try to balance this a little bit more. Okay, then we have Connor Tag 123. I think they couldn't do much because of this stupid pandemic, so they couldn't come together and talk about it or get to the systems they needed to change, fix, or make things. This is a thing that a lot of people did mention, and I do agree. At the same time, I don't, and one of the responses is kind of how I feel about this, which is by Bihag Nepal. The thing about that is that no one forced them to dish out anniversary during a pandemic. If it was difficult for them to do so, then they wouldn't postpone the event till later. I think they wouldn't do this because they will be losing money. The quicker they kind of do this, the better for them in terms of income.
They couldn't postpone the anniversary. It wouldn't be an anniversary.
Yeah. I personally don't think it's hard to develop a game away from work, because you can literally take your equipment and work from home. And on top of that, they already know what they had to do and create, since they have early scheduled, so communication isn't too much of a problem. So yeah, they can't use that as an excuse. The devs are just lackadaisical. I'm not English, I don't know what that means. Have to search on Google. And it said that they thought that this stuff they made was worthy of an anniversary. Again, this has a lot of things that I do agree, especially the part where they can work at home. I had a degree on game developing, and I know by a fact that you can develop good games by home. Yes, it takes a little bit more time than when you are with, well, your co-workers in the same location, and this again, but it's not impossible to work. And I think that using this pandemic as an excuse, also, I don't think it really is real. That's why I also think that they dragged this way too long because of that. But at the same time, it's like, I think they could have done better.
Well, the situation is real. I think you mean that in Japan, the situation is more controlled. They use masks more often, so it's different from other countries. But that could be an issue in itself. Like, they have more control, they can do less, and okay, they can work from home. But I don't know. This is a big company. Maybe they can't bring things to home. Maybe they have other rules that they don't allow to work as they would. It depends, because it feels that they are dragging the events in a way, and it feels like they are being affected. They mentioned they were being affected. I don't know for how long they are going to be affected. They are still doing things, so it's not a total shutdown. I think they need new strategies, new direction for new things to create new events, and because the way that they are doing this is hopefully not working. And with this pandemic thing, they should have worked out a new solution, a new way to do things that would be easier for them.
And then we have Miko-chan, which came with the testimony of the gods, with a text for days.
Which is very good.
Yeah, it is really good. I just thought it was kind of funny. So, let's start with the pros. Free multi-summon daily, which we like. Free summon anniversary tickets, which are always a good thing, especially for a login. Future Trunks being useful, now Legends Road can build a team slowly. God Shallot and Giblet were absolutely amazing. Look so awesome. Still waiting for Giblet to be playable. Only God Shallot is playable.
Spoiler.
True. But I mean, I think majority of people already know in PvP that mostly Shallot, no Giblet. The new title screen needs to stay. It's super dope. It is, but I kind of want them to bring even more characters to the title screen like they did in the older one. But it does look really good. And the new music introduced in the story, so amazing, and I loved hearing it. I do agree the music is actually really good. I have to listen to it again in the end. So again, talking about the pros before going to the cons. Like we mentioned, the free summons are always good, no matter how the rates are, it's still really good summons.
Another completely thing that I want to mention as a pro that I liked a lot, which is more of a pro of the game that's being consistent, and I like it a lot, is the art of the cards, the units. I like that a lot. Like I mentioned, the music, the overall artistic style of the game is very good.
Yeah, it is.
And they keep that for a long time, and I think that's great. Also the voice acting is cool, all that stuff is cool. They have a lot of the assets from other games. I think just the art of the card is original, and that's good.
Now for the cons. Stalling God Shall release was a huge mistake. The anniversary was literally dry within day 3 of it. Shall should have been day 1 of the anniversary, which I agree. But again, if we think about this, the pandemic, and with the pandemic excuse, they dragged it out on purpose, in my opinion, just so it feels like it's longer, they have more time to do stuff. I just hope that with all this drag, they will bring something better for the next month, when hopefully the pandemic is going to be even less. Hopefully, we don't know, I don't have a third eye to see the future.
I kinda agree, but at the same time I disagree, because I think it's good to have spaced out events.
Mm-hmm.
What they want was a lot of events. So I think they should put the story of the anniversary and do the God Shallot, and then have the challenge later and the Omega Sharon maybe later. So just to space things out a bit more.
Units are cool and all, but I have one issue, mainly Vegito Blue. Once again, he was the face of the anniversary unit, and he makes RR more irritating because the amount of cards he gets in a single combo is unfair and not balanced, and paired with Kefla, it can be even worse. Which, it is so true. Again, we mentioned this in early comments. The anniversary units are just way too unbalanced, and I think that was kind of miscalculating on the part of the developers.
Yeah, they are too strong, they work too well together. Fusions is too strong right now.
Zamasu all-round great unit, Rage Trunks, great tank, amazing ultimate, and they look amazing. GT units, meh, not really. This is very debatable, because I think people sleep way too much on Omega Shenron. The guy paralyzes so much, he is so annoying. I just think that people sleep too much on him.
I agree, but at the same time, he's really strong. The problem is that Vegito Blue is a whole new level. The problem is a whole Vegito Blue, not the GT. I think the GT are great, actually.
Yeah,
and they noticed this, and I think they made a awakened for GT, but still, like most people, unless they are GT fans, they don't go for the GT. They just go Vegito Blue, and when they go for the GT, they get Vegito Blue and they forget about the GTs. That's an issue, which I kinda like the Omega Sharon, and I got his equip perfect on the first slot, so I'm very happy for the Shadow Dragons. I don't know if they will continue that, maybe, I hope, but...
Yeah, but also for counter Vegito Blue you have like SSJ4 full power Goku, but he's mainly a blaster, and guess what Vegito has? He has a strike that has blast defense. So he just passes through like the blast of Goku, which...
Yeah, blast armor is a
blast armor for
annoying mechanic if it's spammable. So I think they can avoid this by like doing extra damage or something, I don't know. Because the whole game is to combo the Sentries, they try to nerf this, but you know, it's still too much all about the combos. You know, you get the combo, you do the combo, and the whole game is all about combo.
PvP, nobody likes triple RP, the laggers and hackers make it no fun. Agreed, and we already mentioned this.
Yeah, cheaters have to go.
Banners, like the banners, and glad it's not double LF, but could have replaced GT units with somebody else. This I agree, but at the same time I don't think it was a bad option to put GT, because it's kind of GT versus Super, and I guess it kind of divides the community a little bit. I believe most people went for the Super banner except for the GT. Again, I'm the opposite. I went for the GT, I completely skipped Super.
I think they thought about this, and the GT was originally Super Saiyan for Gogeta, and they changed that the last minute. I personally think that, so they did this and it stick with that. So because two fusions will be too strong, everyone knows that. And...
I mean, I'm still waiting for the SSJ for Gogeta because I just love the way he looks. I love every SSJ 4, that's why whenever I see SSJ 4 I usually tend to summon. It's rare, but I usually do. That's why I went for the GT banner, because I just like the way they look, it's so nice. Then we have events. Rerun events were already finished, only 2 new ones, and no Zenkai Trunks doesn't count. No real way to grind a lot of crystals. Again, we already mentioned this, it is true. For new players you have a lot of CC, for veterans you have almost nothing. And I will say this, rerun events, they brought Goku Black, which not even a few months later he already came back, and it's like, why is he again here?
Yeah, even us that are half new players, let's say it like that, we already did it. Like, it was too soon to repeat. There are too many events that were not repeated at all.
For example, we had Bojack, we had Broly, still waiting on that one. We also have Full Power Frieza, or they could also bring another one.
Yeah.
After the Shenron, they could have brought like a Zamasu, because the thing about these battles is you can kinda, code-wise, copy-paste a little bit, change the colors, change the unit, and they could have made this for every new unit, like the Zamasu, they could have made the Goku, they could have made the Trunks, they could have made Vegito Blue. I think that kinda is what really frustrated me about this, and I even thought that the raid would be Zamasu. But it wasn't even Zamasu, the raid was against Shenron, and I'm like, where is Zamasu?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, maybe they're gonna bring a raid 2 with Zamasu. No! And I'm like, where is Zamasu?
I forgot about the raids, like, let's do this later.
But it was fun, but again...
By later I mean like next year. We completely forgot, yeah.
No, I hope it will come soon, but I think the events could have been way much better. It was just really lackluster and very empty.
Yeah.
And we have chance time. Bullshit, bullshit, and more bullshit. Yes, the chance time, again, they didn't explain a lot about it, so we're like, how do you even do this? Then this is more for pay to win because of the purple ticket. It was just like a complete mess, and I love the CC they were going to give, but it's a lottery and it kinda sucks. Overall, this anniversary was terribly done compared to year 1. I didn't focus on older players hardly at all. Most of this was catered to new players, and it didn't feel like thank you to all the players. It just felt like a regular month and nothing more. They kinda were riding on the banners to keep up the hype, but it backfired badly and very dry. Again, this is why I decided to put Miku as one of the last comments because it just emphasizes everything we mentioned in the responses and most of your guys' feedback. It just feels like another month.
That at the end was perfect. It summarizes everything perfectly.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, like perfect.
Because again, like this just feels like another month. Again, the first days were very fun. I really enjoyed it and made me really hyped, but I think they hyped way too much for what was going to come, which was dryness.
Yeah.
And we have the last comment, which I think is also kind of fitting, which is by Naman Piplani. It fucking sucked, I quit, I ain't coming back.
It is a bit exaggerated. I saw a lot of people saying this, but at the same time, it's a frustration that you feel like. I think most people will come back. They are just very frustrated because it was. It started so well, and then it just drags. Nothing new, and boom! You just realize that nothing is coming for a long time.
But also why I decided to leave this also little comment in the end is because, again, like you said, a lot of the community is having these feelings. I said in one of my older videos, which it didn't age well in terms of guessing the summons, but it aged well in almost everything else, which is, if this anniversary sucks, it's going to be awful for the game, and we are seeing that. That is no doubt. The game was already having its ups and downs. The community was not really happy with the game. They were like, the anniversary probably gonna be the best. Maybe it will be better than the last year. Maybe it's gonna be the same as last year. But no, it was worse. It's what we did not want to happen. It was our biggest fear. The anniversary flopped, and this again emphasizes the anger and frustration most people have that this did not improve the game whatsoever as we hoped it would, because we are players, we do criticize, we can be mean sometimes, but we do love this game. The majority of us really enjoy this game and we want the game to succeed. And just seeing it falling so badly, it does hurt a little bit.
I actually remember when you said that and I was like, nah, that's not going to happen at all. And then we are here today.
I have a third eye, I swear. People say in the Discord as a joke that I talk with Toshi. I'm in it on the Bandai Dragon Ball Legends stuff. I am not, but man, I did guess a lot of things.
Yeah. Sadly you did on this. But I feel that they are trying, and for me that's enough for me to keep playing, and being, like they said, patient and trying to support the game, blah blah blah. I still have hope for this game, That's what I'm trying to say. And I would like to give some suggestions to improve the game.
Yeah, because again, like, I also do agree. I think they really are trying to improve the game. They just aren't taking... I don't know if they're listening or not to the community, because again, the community says things and they kind of do the opposite, but sometimes they do what the community says, so it can be kind of confusing in my opinion. So we are going to drop a little bit of the solutions and other ideas that maybe could improve the game if the developers end up seeing this video. So don't forget to share. More views, maybe they can see, who knows. So again, like we also said during all this video, I think they should have shortened the time for anniversary and don't drag it as much. What I mean by this is we are at the end, almost at the end of the month, and we only now got part 2. I feel that we should be in the end of the anniversary.
Yeah.
I think that they could have maybe dragged it less, as in probably decrease 1 week. Because I feel like right now we should be having the banner where you do daily summons on the anniversary banners. I think the Kaioken PyCon should have came a little bit earlier. It just feels like they dragged a bit too much.
I agree, but at the same time, that's like saying work more. And
yes and no, because I still agree that they should drag, as in to get enough time, but I think they dragged slightly a bit too much.
Okay.
Because it doesn't feel like we are in the middle of the anniversary. It feels like we are at the end of the anniversary.
Yeah, they are no doubt dragging too much, but at the same time, what else they can do? Drag less, work more, I think what they should do is, as you say, drag less and add something else, like new events. And how they do this, like you said before, the copy paste thing, and try to add more events that are that exist already, it shouldn't be too hard to copy paste some events just to have new things to do. They don't have to do stories or complex things, they just have to have more battles. And they need to create new systems like PvP, where you just battle and battle and battle, very repetitive. Have like a random PvE battle or something like this, that you can get some random equips or CC, or you have a chance to get CC, something like this, and you can just battle on and on forever.
Yeah, this also has been something I've been speaking a little bit on Discord or in some videos, that I feel they should bring a type of tournament for the PvE. Because right now, the permanent event we have is the Rush Battle, if I'm not mistaken. And it's very easy and it's very boring. You just literally put auto and it just plays by itself. It just don't do anything else.
But
and
it's better than nothing. I think things like that is good because you can get awakened. I totally agree that it's a bit boring after a while. But then again, if they have a lot of events like those, you wouldn't feel as boring because you can choose what you like, you know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I want them to keep that as it is. No need to change. They can add a little bit more, like if we have like challenge 5, they could add like challenge 10 or something.
It could be more random units to make it more interesting, because right now they are always the same and you just keep auto, and it will be more interesting if it was random or different, so that you actually have to strategize a bit. I don't know.
But I also, because again, I personally don't like the battle rush thing that much, because I'm a person who likes to play with my units, and for me it just gets kind of boring. For some people you can like strategize and play with different teams and different units, and I think it's good. But for me, I don't like it personally, so I think they should have a type of, again, other world tournament where you have like those challenges, like finish out battle 10 and whatever, but something like permanent, and every week they will change your enemies.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you probably will need to change your battle style, but you don't technically need to, but it will be easier. I don't know, it's just something that could reward you for playing every day again, like receiving CC, maybe getting new tickets.
They could add one that is like permanent, and every week and it changes, but you do it, it resets for the next week.
Yeah.
And when it repeats, even if it happens to be the same unit, you could do it again, because the rewards will be something that allows repetition.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like a permanent event like the Goku Black. Because the problem with Goku Black is once you're done, you are finished. So what rewards they could reduce? Maybe the CC a bit. Maybe instead of 3 per challenge could be just 1. So in a way you also are getting CC. You have the Ultra Space Time Rush to get CC. And these are ways to always increase the bulk of CC per month, which is what is needed.
Because I think that even though these are kind of repetitive events, as in go make this battle, play this battle, blah blah, but at least it's something to keep us occupied, and I love those battles. I usually finish them in the whole day because it's just something that I find really fun to do. Because as someone who still isn't really into PvP due to personal reasons, I just feel very at ease, and I think it's a lot of fun to do those battles and just play against the AI, and I do mistakes and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I get really annoyed, and then we win and I'm like, yes! I don't know, it's just fun. And I was hoping that they would bring that with the Other World tournament, but no, the Other World tournament is literally just a Shenron event that is gate timed, which nobody likes, but again, they have to do it.
I also removed those. Gate timed events feel like that events are longer than what they should, and they drag out, which is exactly what you don't want.
And finally, I have another thing to add about the co-op in this case. Again, the co-op so far I think is kind of good. I think they should add bots to the co-op, because some people, they don't have a lot of friends, or they're playing with another person, that person disconnects or whatever. I think there should be a bot, like they do in PvP, when someone disconnects they put a bot. I think they should do that with co-op, because again, when you battled with Vegito, he was an AI and he was kind of doing a little bit of a co-op thing. I think they should bring that to the co-op in general. And about the excess of tickets, because like most humans, we like to do things at our own pace. Some people like to do things right away, some people like to wait. I am in the middle term when I kind of do things really quickly, but I don't really give much attention to it. But I think that with the access tickets you receive from Zenkai, in case you already finished it, I think there should be a shop where you can spend those Zenkai tickets when you have too much of them.
The excess of the tickets, yes.
Yeah, like it will be a small shop, but you could buy energy, skip tickets, and some souls.
They're usually stuff that no one cares, but you know, it's still nice to have.
So I think these were all the solutions we came up
No.
with. Oh, here come holy what is this?
It's a new idea I just had from reading all those comments, and like it was mentioned, the guilds. So as I was reading these comments, another thing that was very weird was the raids, right?
Yeah.
What you could do is like mix those two together. Like you could have guild raids. Instead of being all the world, it could be just guild themed raids. For example, every week you have a boss to kill. More or less like the Rising Battle that we mentioned, that could be repeatable, but this is for guilds. And you fight the boss, like you could only fight like once per day or something like this, so it's more casual. Or you could fight all the time. And the idea is to, for example, how strong your guild was last week, it could be the life or the health of the boss. And then you have to kill this boss to get some more points or get some. You could also have personal reward like equips or something, or just guild medals. And then your guild overall gets more points for doing that. But it feels like a more cooperation thing. Like you are on Discord talking and you say, oh, let's kill this boss, we have to kill this boss, it's lacking some health, let's do it. And then you can also get personal rewards, so people on the guild can farm it. But even after, if it's, for example, if you your guild somehow kills the boss on the first day, you can still do it, so we can get the personal rewards and you can get more points just by fighting. And again, you are using your favorite characters, and by doing these battles you are getting points for the guild, even when the boss is already dead. Of course, when the boss dies you get a lot of rewards for the guild, like a lot of points, but I think it will be an extra thing, fun again to do, that is permanent, always going or just fighting forever. And it's, I think, but they have to give a lot of personal rewards for the raids.
That would be actually pretty fun. I'm kind of excited.
and you could also have an option to do the co-op for that raid boss.
That would be cool, but the co-op would only be with guild members, correct?
Yeah.
That would be actually
or it could be with anyone, but you just get the person that is doing it gets for its own guild, and the other person gets for his guild.
Oh, okay.
Understand?
Okay. Yeah. That would be cool. I actually would want that to happen in the game. I don't know how they will really implement it in the UI in terms of design of the menus, but it will be such a fun thing if they add that, because it sounds even more fun at those adventures they kind of came up with. But again, this is something they will probably need to look into, see if it's possible to do, if it's not possible. But it's a really fun idea, and I kind of want that now. What did you make me do? Now I want this.
But again, they have to really put things on personal rewards for the guild raid. Yeah. Because if you don't do personal rewards for the raid, no one will do it and the boss will just be there staring. Yeah. And then there will be the guild leader or someone that really cares about the guild just trying to solo it. And that's a bit boring.
That's me.
So yeah, and they have to, or another thing that they could do this, but that's a bit more difficult, is that when the boss is defeated, everyone on the guild gets a lot of guild medals or something, along with the points. They also get a lot of guild medals. The problem with that is that people that are just leeching on the guilds, they will just, okay, I'm here sitting, I will get the medals anyway, so I'll just let the leader solo this, and there goes the leader trying to solo alone the raid boss. So I think they have to push personal rewards for the guild raids.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I was afraid of the leechers. That is all?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I kind of want that idea. I just wonder how they will do this, but I'm pretty excited if they do implement this, because it sounds so fun. Because I really liked the raid for Shenron, I think it was really fun. Just really didn't survive that long. They were way too OP. Even the developers were shocked. It was kind of funny actually when they're like, "Oh, it's dead already." Which for me, I'm like, I don't know. I just don't understand why they were so surprised. Because again, I've been here for not really a long time, and I already can tell that it wouldn't survive that long. So the developers being shocked was also a shock to me. Maybe because I'm always expecting the worst to happen, so I'm always prepared.
That's why the health needs to be based on the last week performance. If they go with that, they can balance the health. Another thing that is important is the interface. Like when you click on guilds, it should only show things that don't require internet. What I mean by this, they don't get the score, they don't get the health. Only when you click on the boss to do the boss raid boss of the guild, then it will show the health and so on. So this is why, because you can click on the guild, you can decide what to do. Are you going to check the tasks? Are you going to check?
Okay, yeah.
So it doesn't lag, because right now when you click on guild, it loads everything. So what does this mean? Is that it's going to get all the information from the server, and that's why it's slow. They should make a better interface that doesn't require anything to download. You just decide what you want. You want the raid boss, you want to check your guild members, you want to give shears, you want to check your task, you want to check your points, because even the points causes a query from the server that they need to download.
Okay, so I think this is finally all. Do we have more papers?
No.
No, this is the only paper. Okay. So I hope we responded to every comment. I waited a little bit more so that everyone had the chance to write their comments. I hope our responses were adequate or decent enough. Again, I didn't respond in the comment section, just hearting it, just so you guys know that I was paying attention. You guys, I always know what you guys are typing in terms of comments, even though I don't respond sometimes. Again, what are your guys' thoughts on our solutions being really quickly mentioned, shorten the time for an anniversary so it didn't drag as much, bring more copy-paste events like the Shenron and other World Tournament, but with different units and no time restraints, and trying to, again, for anniversary specific, they could repeat it, but make another one permanent on the game that will refresh every week like they do with the Ultra Space Time Rush. And for co-op, the access tickets from the Zenkai grind, they should make a shop for that where you can buy, you know, the regular stuff. And finally, for the guilds, make this awesome raid boss idea from Elise, which I was kind of shocked that he brought this up. It's really cool. So this is all. If you like this video, don't forget to also drop that like, subscribe, and most importantly ring the bell to be notified of every single video, because if you don't ring the bell, well, no videos for you. So I hope to see you guys on my next video, and stay tuned, my friends.
Bye.